Okay, now so staying with the NFL, we got one team out here. I almost put up a 50 burger. We talking about the Tampa Bay Bucks on 48-25 on the Falcons. Last night we for Monday Night Football we had the resurgence of the Packers versus the Lions 35-17. So, Jay, with that said, what other games caught your eye and what other action we need to know about?
I think one of the ones that jumps out immediately is the Carolina Panthers moving to 2-0. Especially considering what both teams did in Week 1. We knew about that was a big game for the psyche of Sam Darnold last week, playing against his former team with a rookie quarterback, able to get the job done there. But this is a little bit different because of what New Orleans did in Week 1. New Orleans was impressive. They absolutely throttled the aforementioned Green Bay Packers. You got people, questioning, is Aaron Rodgers out here even trying at this point? And Carolina was able to come in and really handle New Orleans. And, it was a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde thing from Jameis Winston from week to week. Last week, we saw the good. We saw 5 touchdowns, not a heck of a lot of passing yards, but we saw good decision making, which is what we wanted. And this week, it was a little bit back to the old 30 for 30 Jameis. So, not quite sure what to make of that. Still, I know Sean Payton. He's a big boy. Looked like he took responsibility for most of it in the post game. We know they pretty much been on the road since the old hurricane and all this. But I still think you got to look at Carolina and pay attention to them a little bit because this offense. You got Christian McCaffrey back, 2 really good wideouts with Robbie Anderson, Darnold's old teammate from the Jets, and DJ Moore and Sam Darnold. I mean, this is a quartet. You could do worse than that. And then defensively, we talked about last year during the draft, they redid the whole thing pretty much. And you come out and you perform in back-to-back weeks. I mean, I know it's just Zach Wilson and Jameis Winston a little bit step up, but only 21 points allowed in 2 weeks. Matt Rule got to be pleased with what he's getting from his defense. So I think Carolina probably. I figure some people maybe had them in the old sleeper status. They looking like they might be a team that we have to take seriously. And talking about some of the better divisions in football, there's a clear doormat in the NFC South with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry to say, but these other 3 teams can play. We've seen Tampa Bay get it done 2 straight weeks. We know they're defending champs. New Orleans, this was not a great performance, but we cannot ignore what they did in Week 1 to Green Bay, and then Carolina now looking good in 2 straight weeks. And speaking of Green Bay, absolutely had to win that game last night. It was looking a little questionable in the first half. You're down, were they down 17-14 at the half? I think they were. Yeah, they were down 17-14 at half. They come out, they play a great second half. Aaron Rodgers looked like himself. Aaron Jones was absolutely fantastic. He earned about every penny of that contract just in last night. Great performance. Devontae Adams, big numbers. So, like what they did. But I do got to say, Aaron Rodgers, I didn't read completely what he said. I just saw a headline like, "Oh, we got the trolls off our back this week." Like, will you please stop? Listen, when you are Aaron Rodgers and you regarded as one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen, you're the reigning league MVP, and then you've had all the the off-season stuff where you said you weren't going to play, you want to be traded, you're tired of the GM. You say the coach looked like he's 12 years old. Whatever you said or may not have said, you probably didn't say that. But you come out here in Week 1 and you absolutely stink up the joint. People gonna have questions and there's gonna be criticism. And I'm a defender of Aaron Rodgers. But in this instance, like, will you please stop? Stop being so sensitive. You can't score 3 points against Jameis Winston and company and expect us to come out here and be like, oh, well, it's not that big a deal. Like, we'll get them next time. No, be better than that. So that's my message to Aaron Rodgers. But listen, outside of that, I thought Buffalo got a big bounce back win. They made the Dolphins just look like they didn't belong in football with a 35-0 beat down. And also, I got to say, and not to make this, I really try to stay away with about making stuff about teams that I support, but I really do like what I've seen from Denver for 2 straight weeks. This seems like a classic a team built in the identity of a Vic Fangio. He's got a quarterback that's playing lights out right now in Teddy Bridgewater, making good decisions, taking care of the football. Cortland Sutton had a huge game, a career high against the Jacksonville secondary. And then and they play great defense. No doubt one of the best defenses through 2 weeks. I know it's just Daniel Jones. I know it's just Trevor Lawrence so far, but still impressive nonetheless. But then on the other side for Jacksonville, I don't know. It's a little bit concerning. I mean, last week, week 2 was a step up in competition, but that Houston thing is ugly. That's an ugly loss when you lose by 16 to a team that we wanted. Could they win a game? And
Right.
and now you just gotta wonder, like, Urban Meyer, you got anything for us? Trevor Lawrence, how you doing? Is the offense really that bad that after that initial touchdown drive, you go like 8 for 26? And I know it's the Denver defense, but I think, we just got to wonder. And, me and you, we've been talking about, I feel like we've been pretty consistent. We weren't feeling the whole just start building the statues right now for Trevor Lawrence and start getting a Hall of Fame jacket ready. Like, it's a bit much. And I know it's just 2 games, but because of all the media hype, so to speak, this is something we're going to be monitoring all year.
Well, yes. Let's start with one Trevor Lawrence. Listen, and I can't knock on the dude too much because here's the deal: rookie quarterbacks supposed to struggle, in their first year. That's naturally how it works. It's just the fans and the media put all this pressure on these rookies, and then they have to start earlier than they're supposed to. But like you said, I think now with some of the negativity starting to creep in, I think people starting to really look at Trevor Lawrence kind of like we did. Like, can he earn this spot first? Do you mind if he worked for it a little bit? Just a little bit. Work for it. Because, when it's any other quarterback of his caliber, it might have just been the system or it's the 5-star guys he threw to. But with Trevor Lawrence, it was, it's Trevor Lawrence. Trust and believe this team will be trash without Trevor Lawrence. And then the backup come in and win a game. So, I definitely agree with you on that point. I got to give some shout out to Derek Henry, baby. Listen, for all the naysayers that say running backs shouldn't get paid because they come a dime a dozen, well, let me tell you something. When you got your elite running back like Tennessee does, you pay them. Listen, when you talking about, we don't believe in Tannehill. Like, Tannehill hasn't showed one thing that makes you believe in him other than his contract. Then you put on top of the fact that he got Julio Jones and A.J. Brown to throw to, which A.J. Brown, you out here getting locked up by a dude shorter than me. I don't know about all that. But with all that said, I guess I owe, Tannehill a little. But let me back up a little bit. He did throw for almost 350 yards. He didn't throw for no touchdowns, but you know what I'm saying? I got to give kudos that. Derrick Henry, 35 carries, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. He averaged 5.2 yards per carry. His longest run was 60 yards.
6 catches for 55 yards, 41 touches. That's unheard of in today's NFL.
Right. So, yeah. You know what? You remember when we was doing, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but we was doing, we had a segment about the Pro Bowl teams. And you remember they had like Derrick Henry, like I think it was a flex position.
Oh, it was all pro, yeah.
Like, what? I don't know about the flex. When do he go out and catch? Well, I think he's starting to go out and catch. So that conversation is probably going to get put to rest with that. I think he's doing a little more in the passing game, which makes me understand why he would be an all-pro at the flex position, I guess. But that game was hard fought on both sides. It went into overtime. Tennessee ended up winning 33-30. But I had to say something about, because I like when running backs do well. I definitely like when running backs do what Derrick Henry did. because I do think that's a position where people don't care for it and they overlook it. So I had to give them a shout out for that. Then I want to go into the another guy that I think we don't talk about a lot. Even myself, I even cracked jokes on him like before the season started because he was comparing himself to Tom Brady. I'm like, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. But the Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, man, this guy first 2 games of the season, this guy's been on fire, folks. And he's on fire. That's Derek Carr. Look, the Raiders might be something out here. I don't know if it's quite fool's goals yet, but listen, he threw for 400 and some, like I think 435 yards in week 1. He threw for 382 yards in week 2. I mean, he even revived my boy Henry the Ruggs 3. He even fought him again. I said, "Oh, look at Ruggs, he alive, baby. I see you." I think, we got to start giving some flowers out here to the Las Vegas Raiders, man. It looks like, listen, that they're starting to figure out some things. If they get that wide receiver core going a little bit more, get that running back core going a little bit more, I got to give some shouts out to the Raiders on that. And then, listen, Falcons. This is ridiculous. You almost got doubled up. This game could have been 50-25. Are you kidding me? This is not college football. You do not supposed to be getting beat like that in pro football. I'm looking at the rest of these games. If you throw out the shellacking by the Bills, like the rest of these scores look like NFL scores. 20-17, 31-21, 27-24, 35-0, 25-6, 17-11, 26-17. 26-7, 23-13, 34-33, 48-20. Like, what are we doing here, Falcons? You know what? I owe the Jets an apology, the Texans an apology. Hell, even Jacksonville an apology at this point. At least they looking like they trying to play. I don't know what in the world the Falcons doing. This is ridiculous for a team that's quarterbacked by Matt Ryan. Like, I mean, I got it. It's 3 phases of the game, but I mean, my God, this is ridiculous. So to close it off, I just want to, I think we should talk to the Canadian Football League, see if they're willing to give up their top team, and see if they're willing to, in soccer, they call it a transfer fee. If they want to make, do a transfer, we give them the Falcons, they give us the Toronto Astronauts or whatever the team is, and then we might have to do that. At least we'll get the Canadian fan base up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this Falcons, this is not going to work out. This is not it, folks. Just not it.